Right.
Your family.
Are you gonna restart it or not?
No, it's fine.
All right.
Just
Welcome back to Growers Not Showers. Do not look at the names. Everything professional was going on here. Episode Who the Fuck Knows, because who the fuck cares? Jack, how was your week apart from being really good at naming people really serious names? There you go.
It's been good. It's been good. You spun me there, bro. It's been good. It's been a good week. It's been a productive week. The fellas are getting leaner and leaner and leaner and leaner, as one would hope, which is cool. Things are good. I'm a little bit sleep deprived today, but not too bad. Sessions are going well. Body weight's up a little bit, but conditions holding. So yeah, did I do anything? I feel like I got up to something this week in my spare time. Obviously, since we last spoke, I saw you and Aaron, and then me and Aaron are actually going to TDM gym on Saturday as well. This Saturday, which will be pretty cool. But yeah, I feel like I can't remember. I feel like there's something that I've done outside of the norm, but I can't remember what it is. Who knows? Fuck knows. Camille, I'm passing the ball. How's your week been, mate?
It's been good, mate. I think what I was saying to you when I was texting you earlier in terms of like prep reveals the crack in your life, I think that very much happened to me. It was like it got to a point in prep where I had like a breaking point, and like a specific instance where I was like, I either give this everything that I have or I just quit. And we had that conversation with you, and I was like, bruv, I don't know what to do. And luckily, we've managed to come out of it. But like since then, I've kind of just been chilling. Training past 2 days, granted, has been very fucked. But me and Jack have already put in some additional supplements on the side, which we suspect are already hitting because I feel fantastic today. So it's a nice ton of events. But I think the main thing now is just like coming to terms with the grit at this point in prep. I think today was a day where I could sit back. It was a little bit more chill, and I felt a lot of gratitude to being in prep, like, and how difficult it is, but also how rewarding it is as well. I think going into prep, I was so anxious about being like super hard and like I need to have everything checked, etc., etc. And like time goes back at you so fast. It's like fuck, I'm like 5 weeks out now. It's really not that far in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, pretty fucking good overall. Today has been a good day.
Nice one.
I just
What
won't
about
get
you,
asked I just won't be asked
Yeah.
my week, you know. I'll just fucking die, shall I?
How was your week been, man?
I'm joking. It's been good. It's been good. Mine is the least interesting week. I have moved everything into my new home, got my setup all done, and to be honest, my day has just been fucking get up, do a load of work, go to the gym, come back, do a load of work, go to sleep. Oh my god, it's almost like that's my job. What the fuck? No, but it's been nice. It's been nice not having distractions or. I don't know. I also I'm not going to dox where I've moved to, but I'm now near a lot of my friends. And the first time in ages, we went and booked a AstroTurf pitch and played football, and I can't tell you how fucking good it was. It's like
A hybrid athlete, yeah?
mate, I used to be a massive like sport person. Football was one of them. I wasn't like, insanely good, but
What
it's
position
so
did you play?
fun. Right wing, just because I'm
Right
fast.
wing, are you
That's
quick?
it.
Yeah. We need to race.
Mate, I will beat you. I'm telling you now, I will beat you. I know.
I used to be
know.
really quick.
No,
but
you were pretty
packed
quick
on
when
a
I saw
bit
you
of
against
timber.
Aaron. I was only joking.
Yeah, I
I've got to
smoked
be
him, but
egotistical.
yeah,
But he is 5'1",
4.
so
Yeah.
okay. Well, I went a bit lower. Yeah, fair.
Oh,
No,
I love you,
to be
Aaron.
fair, I reckon. Where were we? Birmingham. Well, no, we weren't Birmingham. Where was it
Yeah,
that you
dirty
raced?
Brum.
Fucking hell.
It was Birmingham, yeah.
Yeah, fair. Fuck's sake.
Brum is a shithole. But sorry, Matty, you continue with your.
No, I agree with what you said. But no, it was good playing football. Mate, I had a pint for the first time in like a year. It still
Yeah, me
tasted
too.
like shit, but
I'm
it was
joking.
alright. No, it actually, fuck's sake, it tastes infinitely better if you've gone and done a sport. So my advice, go to the gym, post-workout pint. That's all you need.
Fine.
Yeah.
After cardio, dry off.
Dry.
Exactly.
Jack was like, "Why are you so dry this morning?" I was like, "Bro, I got pissed yesterday." Like,
Exactly. Did either of you two used to play sports? Or I feel like Jack was
Yeah.
like, Jack, were you a non-sporty guy?
I was not a sport.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? I was not a sport
That-
guy, no.
That's what I was thinking more computer science Clash Royale kind of guy.
Clash Royale? Nah, not Clash
Yeah,
Royale.
I Clash Royale. Yeah, Jack was a neat, bro.
Yeah,
Hey,
In school. Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
nah, there
yeah, it
is.
was cute.
Anything
It's
wrong about it?
so weird that we went to the same school.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say
Yeah,
that?
you
Oh,
can,
did I
bro.
just dox us?
Yeah,
Leaking academy information.
it's weird. There's one or two people still floating about. Actually, there's more than one or two people still floating about who are from the place that we both lived in, from where our school is. That place, you know who
Mate, there's
Birmingham
loads. Yeah,
convenient.
there's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
loads. I
It's
coached like
crazy.
four
Like,
people from that school.
yeah, it's crazy. It's weird. I've even got
Mm.
like a couple from my uni in Wales who are still kind of like floating about as well. It's funny, like you kind of pick up people, and
Yeah,
then you
you
can't ever
collect
shake
them.
them. Ah, fucking hell, can't ever shake
Too good at his job. Fuck.
them. Oh, fucking. What do you guys? All right, let's just jump in. I'm curious. What do you guys think about the TDM gym and the pricing and all that? Because it's on my brain, and I think I've formed an opinion, but I'm not sure.
Isn't it like a 22 quid day pass? Is that something like that, or what was it?
Yeah, and like
Yeah,
150.
membership's over 100 quid.
Camille, do you want to go first or me? I've got an opinion.
I think with running my own business, it's given me a little bit of insight, but ultimately I would not be able to tell until I had my own gym and I knew the costs and what they took, the effort it put to get in there. But from my experience, I think that's reasonably priced. Um, Granted, they wouldn't have done it in a way to not attract members. They've obviously put quality into the service, but more so they want it to be more of a premium gym because even if you have a really good facility, it's much easier to run if you have less people overall and they're paying more. Right? If you have more people, there's more chance for kit to break. You have to clean more. You have to have more staff. All of this. So they're essentially putting it at a premium price so they have less members. They still make the same amount of money. They have less members. It's much easier to manage, and obviously the facilities are high quality, so it's going to attract them. So from a business perspective, I think it's a smart move. Obviously, I can see why maybe a younger individual who doesn't have much income and seeing like 150 quid and be like, fuck, that's a lot. It is. It's a lot of money. But I think in the
Yeah.
grand scheme of things, when you look at it from a bigger picture, I think it's a good shout.
Yeah, I think if you're the type of person saying 22 quid is too much for a day pass, you're probably the type of person they don't want in there. And that sounds really like kind of fucking rude, but
It's true
it's
though.
true. You're paying for, you're not just paying for that day, you're paying for the use of amazing equipment because that is all very, very well handpicked. You know, it looks like a lovely atmosphere. I can't say until I've been there. I can just say off what the pictures show in other people. But it looks so polished, it looks so nice. I bet it's so well maintained as well. And they don't want to ruin that. So I think it makes complete sense personally. What about you, Jack?
Yeah, I think, like, first of all, owning and running a gym is hugely expensive, and I don't think people realize just how much money goes into it. Like, one piece of gym kit is going to be like a car, like in terms of money. We're talking car money. And then you think that maybe, and that's including like cardio kit and like benches and stuff, etc. So you're thinking, I don't know, maybe 10, 20 benches, 2 Smiths, 30, 40 pieces of kit, 20 pieces of cardio kit, electricity, water, staff to man the desk, staff to clean up, staff to do the bathroom supplies, fucking any like
Damages.
damages, insurance, rent, gas and heating, AC. Like, it's ridiculous. Most gyms it's the kind of business where like it's not going to make money for quite some time. And I think, like, first of all, like, as a general gym membership, I don't think 150's that crazy. It's a lot of money. If you look at it from the consumer side, it's like, oh, that's a lot of money. If you look at it from the business side, it's like, man, that's not a lot of money. Like, I think if most people who are like, oh, 150's too much, I think hypothetically, if they were in that situation where they had to make a gym, they'd be like, dude, I'm not charging less than $1,000. Are you fucking kidding? Like, this shit is so
Yeah.
expensive. What? How am I going to make money?
Agreed.
So yeah, I think a gym where there is a higher price is I think it's refreshing, because a lot of like JD Gym, Pure Gym, they all rely on like 16 quid for a month, and then hope that you don't turn up. It's nice to have a gym where the price almost holds people accountable. People are more likely to respect the kit. I hope that they're a bit like if
More likely to go.
yeah. I hope that if people were like super disrespectful or clearly in the wrong, that they bar people as well. Like that's always nice, but having a gym that's a bit more vetted is nice.
Yeah, it's like what's the biggest issue that 99% of people have with commercial gyms? It's that it's overcrammed, it's overpacked. You go up to
Yeah.
someone, you ask how many sets they say, and they've got fucking 7 sets of a single arm pull down both sides. It's like fuck off. Like you go to a gym like that, and the quality of person who would go to that gym as well would be much nicer to train at. Like you probably go up to people, they would give you advice, like they try and help you out. Do you know what I mean? Like obviously I train at JP's, which is 40 quid a month. And I think that's underpriced for the facility, but it's not too busy, especially not the time that I go with. But you do notice people when it's a lot quieter and more chill and everyone's kind of doing their thing. No one's overstimulated, everyone's way more friendly, no one's like fucking staring at you or whatever. Like you just feel comfortable. Do you know what I mean? Like you feel comfortable. And that's ultimately what you're paying for as well. You're paying for the environment. And I don't think people who don't go to the gym often don't realize how important the environment actually is.
Yeah, 100%. I think like I'll go to the gym and see if it's worth it, but yeah, I mean even over in Manchester we've got well, I don't want to get in anyone's tits, but there's two gyms here, one that's cheaper than the other, and they're both quite popular gyms. And the one that's more expensive is substantially more expensive, and guess what? There's less people, and the kit is better maintained, and there is a bit more of a community to it. And it's like there's advantages to the other one, there's advantages to everything, but again, it's like when you have a more expensive gym. First of all, not all gyms are going to go that expensive, because not all gyms can rely on that model of pulling those people in. They need to be worth the money. But I think it's nice to have a mix of things, where it's like if you want a pure gym, that exists. If you want a like middle of the road gym, that exists. If you want slightly better kit, slightly more cash, cool. And then if you want to pay a premium for a premium gym, then go for it. Because like, especially obviously if you're like full-time bodybuilder, you'd happily pay the 150 to be like, you're telling me there's less people? Fucking wicked. I don't want to deal with that. Oh, the kit's better, they're more likely to swap things out, better maintenance, etc. Sweet.
Mm. Yeah, it's going into like the model of like who the client that they're trying to attract.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is like this is all based on the fact that it is worth that. And like you said, if hypothetically if a gym came up and it was not worth the asking price and all these positives that we just mentioned, then it would be a cause for concern. But in the case of this gym, so far I've only seen and heard good things, so one can only imagine that the price is then reasonably settled.
Yeah, it looks really good. I mean, I think it's going to be like an absolute hotspot as well. Like, it looks like a lot of like really high end coaches will be going there, because they're like, half of that. What makes their day really good, especially as someone who's just literally sat at a desk for ages, is probably that gym experience. If they're willing to pay that much for a gym, which it is, I think it is expensive to the average person. That's why everyone sees 150 like fucking hell, that's really expensive, but for someone whose lifetime is there, they go more than the average person. They don't just go for their sessions, they go for cardio, maybe even mobility or some shit like that. But they'll be there. Yeah, just like kind of exactly. They'll go for something like that. I think it's completely fair enough. I mean, that like I can officially say I charge cheaper than a gym's rent now, and that'll be like, I'll be absolutely fine. That's my selling point now. But no, I think it's fair enough. I think if you don't, and the good thing in the premium about that gym as well is like most gyms will say like, oh yeah, no under 18s, no whatever, no disrespecting kit. If you're charging 150, you won't need to say that, because the people who want to charge that or want to pay that will not be disrespecting the kit, because they'll be so fucking scared of getting kicked out, as they should. And anyone who's charging 150 is either like a very rich like little kid that will get found out very quickly, or someone who actually respects kit. That's my opinion.
I mean, you got stuff like David Lloyd, like which is known as a premium gym, and they're fucking really successful as a commercial gym brand. And it's like they just appeal to a different demographic,
Yep.
and they entice them with all these additional perks like saunas and gym facilities and courts and stuff like that. And mate, they're fucking minted. So it's like it's just you got to change the demographic, but like we said, from the consumer's perspective, it's going to be like holy shit. But the truth is, it's not aimed at you. You're meant to think that.
No,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
completely agree.
I think yeah, but a lot of people are just kind of. I think a lot of people, it's people who either just like don't have the cash availability to really like recurring spend 150 on something, which is fair. Or if they already are, they can't do it like multiple times, adding a gym membership to that. And then I think the other side is people who don't potentially realize the gap in gyms and the difference that makes. And for a lot of people, that is absolutely worth that amount of money. Like, I mean, especially to be honest, like where it is in Brum, it's like I've never been blown away by a gym in Brum, but TM does look pretty good, you know. And it's like
Dirty, dirty, bro.
if you ever, I'm number 3 Birmingham enjoyer, by the way, but if if you find like if there's a gym that just like blows you out the water, then yeah, like I think it's worth it. Anyway, we've rattled that topic to death. We're all too tired and sleepy. We're just going to keep on agreeing with each other. It's interesting that we all agreed. I thought there'd be a little bit of discourse. I think the main thing that would be interesting is like
Must mean the business is going well.
I think it'll be interesting to see how much better it is than like other bodybuilding gyms, because they tend to sit like 50 to 100. Yeah, in city centres you get like the 150 ones, but like luxury lifestyle like David Lloyd is not really the type of gym that we would go to, nor is it the type of gym we'd want to go to. Well, I think I'd rather go pure gym than a David Lloyd personally. Fucking hell. Because
Yeah,
at least if
agreed.
you're getting crap kit, it's cheap. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go through some questions because we need some fucking direction. God damn.
I've got excuse. I'm in prep. I'm a
me too,
wandering
mate.
soul today.
Yeah, I'm in prep. Right. Yeah. Let's start off with my questions. Camille, we're going to start off with the questions that you've put in. What's your favourite part of bodybuilding? I'm not going first. We're doing Camille, then Matt, then me.
You're not going to make me answer my own question
Yeah,
first,
but what's
surely.
your favourite part of bodybuilding? Unless you don't like it. Retire.
That's such a hard question, though. That's such a hard question.
Yeah,
Um,
because it's all crap. It's just all shit, bruv.
yeah. Bodybuilding shit. I hate prep. I hate it.
It's
Like,
fucking
I'm
terrible.
hungry.
Yeah, don't do this. For anyone
I
listening,
think
don't do it.
for me, it's, and this isn't just applicable to me, but when you look at a physique and you're a bodybuilder, right? Whether it's your own physique or someone else on stage or someone that has an impressive build, you can almost like physically feel in your body how much work it took to get there.
Yeah.
And like when I look at other people's physique or recently looking at mine and seeing how far I've come, it's such a wholesome moment because yes, aesthetically and visually it's much better, but you know how much work it took to get there. And it's that satisfaction of like I didn't give up, I worked through it, the perseverance, the grit. And like when you look at an impressive physique, regardless, it's just that's what you feel. And that feeling in bodybuilding is what keeps me going.
Okay. Okay. Matt,
What's
your
yours,
favourite
Matty?
part of bodybuilding?
Fuck's sake. My favorite, no, my favorite is probably knowing that you're getting better every single day. Like the realistically, like most people in the world just are stagnant for most of their lives. Like they're doing the same thing day in, day out. And you're still doing that in bodybuilding, but it's making you better. It's not just kind of wasted time. I feel like the average person is working, which is great. You know, that's money. That's sick. You know, bodybuilders do that too, obviously. But it's just making yourself and your mindset better every single day, which I don't think a lot of people and a lot of other hobbies can say they do. So,
My favourite part of bodybuilding is probably I don't know, man. Because I think if bodybuilding stopped existing, I don't think I'd change anything of what I'm doing. So it's just sort of what happens rather than something that like I actively feel hugely attracted to, if that makes sense. It's kind of just like it's the way that I would do things already. I think what's my favorite part about bodybuilding? You know what?
Eating dust.
Yeah, eating dust, bro. I think in the least, like, I'm hoping some of the listeners kind of get this. Otherwise, I'm going to come across in like a really bad way. But I think it's doing shit that you know that other people can't do, or like doing shit that like you're just in a completely different stratosphere to the average person, and that's really cool. Like, I don't know if you've ever recently trained at a leisure centre. I did like a week or so ago, and the weights that I saw being moved, I was like, oh dear, guys. And it's like you look at people and they're like, they leave the gym and you see them immediately beeline for like the nearest Nando's, and then, you know, those same fuckers will show up in the gym like for a couple of weeks and then go. It's like people can't even commit to training, and it's like, let alone having a training plan that they follow and training to failure, doing mobility beforehand, doing cardio afterwards, tracking, logging, progressing their lifts even if they don't want to. And then that's not to mention like sleep, food, fluid, salt, steps, yada yada yada, all the rest. So I think there is a selfishly and kind of almost maybe it's a little bit toxic, but I think doing stuff that you know other people can't do is quite cool. I think that's part of the fun.
That is cool.
Yeah, sorry guys. That doesn't make you better than the average person. It just makes you different. But you are better than bodybuilding. You're better at bodybuilding, so that's something. We've got. Would you rather be in complete isolation for 1 year, so no clock, no windows, no contact with anyone or anything, or never have any contact with your loved ones ever again?
Oh, easy, 1 year.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
think it
lie.
has to be.
Am I weird, or does that not sound that bad?
He's in prep.
Oh, fuck.
No, that's
Yeah,
difficult.
that's
though.
mine now.
A
Just
year,
bang gym, bro.
man.
Get whacked.
A year.
A year's
I mean,
a long time.
the business would get shagged, but like, you just get whacked.
So my thought process is like, you would have to make the second one appeals more because you could make new loved ones. Both suck. I'm not saying that both
Oh my god, that's fucking brutal.
both fucking suck.
Oh, I love you, Jack.
Bro, I
I can just make more loved ones.
Yeah,
He's
because,
too
mate,
efficient.
I think you have to.
Yeah.
Because I think I don't know, man. I don't know if I'd be the same person after that year. I don't know if I'd have loved ones after that year. I don't know if I'd be the same person. I don't know if I'd make it out of that year, bro. That's a horrible year. You think about how shit lockdown was, and that was like a couple months, and that's still what they're describing is worse than lockdown, and like 3 times.
Did you guys not like lockdown?
No, it was fucking horrible. I was depressed as shit, man.
I thought it was alright. I quite enjoyed it. I think that, yeah, I'm I'm quite a introvert. That's the word I'm looking for. I like spending time by myself. So like when we talk about stuff like this, I'm just like, that doesn't sound too bad. But
Fair,
I mean,
fair.
I'd say I'm introverted, but I kind of there's only like so long that I can.
I think I saw you at the pub one time.
Yeah, at Spoons. I
Yeah.
like I think I'm an introvert. And
You
then
like a
once
Guinness,
month-
don't you?
Mate, I love a Guinness. Yeah. Once a month. I'm
There you go,
I
people.
mean, in prep, I was probably the most social because I was like, I'm hungry. I need things to do. I'll go see people. But yeah, no. I think out of those two, I think it's horrible, but I think I'm going full reset on the loved ones. It's fine. They can
Factory
they can
reset.
they can pre my Insta. It's fine. They can see what I'm up to. Oh shit! That means I need 2 new co-coaches. Shit!
Oh,
I'd lose so many clients because they're my loved ones. I love them all. I'd lose them all.
that was really cute.
I think I'm going for that one.
Fair. Are we sticking on your question, Jack, or what are we doing? I don't know how many you got.
We'll go through a few more. Yeah, I'm gonna forget everyone I know, and then I'm gonna download Grinder, and then I'll just restart from there.
You don't already have it downloaded. You need to tap in. What is going on?
Coach and link in bio and Grinder.
Need to tap in. Oh my days. No, we're not doing another Would You Rather. Jesus Lord.
Nah, would you rather's are good though. If they're actually funny.
Fine. This one's horrible. Fuck you, Cal, for sending this. Burn an orphanage to the ground with everyone inside.
Okay, maybe not.
Do you not want to hear the alternative?
Right. So wait. So burn an orphanage to the ground and what? Sorry. I
With
didn't hear the last
everyone
bit.
inside, right?
Oh.
Oh, great.
Oh.
Or burn a primary school to the ground with everyone inside.
Oh my god.
Oh.
What the fuck? That's not... What?
Bad thing is, I have an answer. Oh.
What would have been really funny if he did like burn an orphanage to a ground and then to the ground, sorry, and then just gave like a very obvious choice, like eat a fucking steak dinner or something like that. And I thought he was gonna do some shit like that, but no.
My favorite one is if you ever do Would You Rathers with people, towards the end of the night you slip this in. You go right. Would you rather be skinned alive or not? Discuss. That's it. And then whatever
Nice.
stance they take, you just take the opposite. Yeah, we're not answering that one. Sorry, Cal, that's too far. I'll tell you off. Cal, if you hear this and you want my answer, message me.
Link in bio.
Yeah, link in bio, G. Even though he's working with all 3 of us already, he can't get any more link in bio'd. Right. This is sorry, Kamal, I've picked another one of yours. It's because I think this is a good discussion point, and because I did want to answer it, and I probably will also answer it on my YouTube. But how would you navigate family members / friends who are unsupportive of bodybuilding? I think that's a phenomenal question, bro. I hope you didn't get it from ChatGPT. It's a good one.
No, it's generally something that I'm trying to figure out myself now, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to cover for you, but if you
Did not pick up on that at all.
Cat's out the bag.
well,
No, it's a genuine struggle in prep.
yeah, I mean, okay. So like, the issue with this question is I kind of know some of the ins and outs a little bit, but let's extrapolate this out to the people listening. If someone's being unsupportive of your bodybuilding or whatever kind of journey you're doing, the first thing is like, how are they being unsupportive? There's neutral and then there's negative. There's like, just not actively encouraging, maybe being a bit discouraging, and then there's like downright, fuck you, you shouldn't be doing this, I hate when you do this, yada yada yada. And then it's, do you have to have those people in your life or not? If they're chosen people in your life, like friends, then unfortunately it might just be a case of like having that discussion with them, and the conclusion might be, I need new friends. I think too many people are quick to cut off friends over this, and I think a lot of the time it's people early on in their lifting years and they're like, oh, I need new friends. Yeah, maybe, but also I think some people just jump into the gym way too hard, and then if you and your friends have gone out every week for the past 5 years and then you stop, they're going to take issue. So calm down. You'll be all right. Maybe you don't need new friends. Maybe you just need more friends. If it's family, then I would have a discussion of like, where does that come from? Like, where does that negativity come from? A lot of people who take real umbrage with things that you do have a strong reason behind it, and it's often caring but contorted. And then if you can have a civil conversation with that person and try and quell those concerns, then I would. But if you can't, I think the best thing is just to distance yourself from that situation. And sometimes that solution isn't something you can do immediately, but it's an aim to aim for. And I think that it's just kind of one of those unfortunate things where it's like, if you know that they're doing it because they have good intentions or because they think that what they're doing is caring or nice, but it's not, it's shit, you have to maybe kind of make things as painless as possible for yourself. Try and, like, God, this is shit advice, but try not to, like, talk about it too much and express it too much, and try and give that outlet to someone else, so you've still got that outlet, but not to them. Keep things a little bit vague, and then if you're in a situation where you need to change, then you need to get out there. If it's a partner, just real quick, this does not relate to Camille, this is not about Camille's partner, okay, just to clear that up. But for anyone listening, if they have an unsupportive partner, you have to talk to them about why they are unsupportive. Because, again, a lot of the people in your life who, unless they're like friends can sometimes just be annoyed. But more often than not, if someone takes a real issue with what you're doing, it's because they care. If your missus or your mister, we don't judge around here, or your they, themmer, if your partner, your SO, is saying to you, hey, I hate that you do bodybuilding, you'd be like, why? And they might be like, oh, because I feel like you're going to take steroids. And then you're like, oh, I'm coached by Finn Kelly, I would never take a steroid in my life. And then that concern's gone, right? Or you might go, I'm coached by Reese, that's a very valid concern. Sorry, Reese. But anyway, like, have that conversation. And then again, like, it's one of those things where partners and friends are people who you choose to have in your life and maintain relationships with. And if you've genuinely exhausted every avenue, sometimes you need to move on. Family is harder because they're kind of more ingrained. I think more often than not, kind of quieting people with success, or just kind of proving them wrong. And sometimes it's difficult to prove people wrong because they might be like, oh, I don't want you bodybuilding because you're going to die when you're 40. And you're like, well, I guess I'll have to wait till I'm 50 for this to fuck off from something that we're talking about. And then, you know, it might never go away. And that's a kind of difficult thing to contend with. But yeah, I think having adult conversations, and then if they're not listening, calling them on it. But the best thing really is to remove yourself from that situation so you can have more open and fluid conversations with those people. And then until you're in a situation where you can remove yourself, biding your time a little bit, as shit as it is. The thing is, a problem like that isn't something that you can solve quickly. If it was, it would get solved. It wouldn't be an issue. It wouldn't be a problem. But as soon as you're outside of that situation, that's when I'd really challenge the ideas of, like, why do you think this is? You seem to think that A is going to lead to B. Why? I'm telling you it doesn't. And if they're not listening to you, which family tend not to if you're younger than them, you'd be like, look, you're dismissing me, and you're not listening to me about a topic that I flat out know more than you about. You know more about me in this area, but I know more than you in this area, and you're not listening to me. And just having that brutal conversation. And that's better when you're not, you know, under their roof, basically. Matt, you're on the spot. Any advice? Go. Do a better answer than mine.
Well, no, because you've covered a lot about bodybuilding there, and I understand that. I think this actually applies to the usual people as well, not even just bodybuilding. I think even when it comes to if you're someone who lives in a household of people who don't take care of themselves in that way, and that's their choice, and that's absolutely fine. But I find, especially when coaching lifestyle people, I'll sometimes, you know, like my clients will have to have difficult conversations with their parents. They actively want to get out of that cycle that's been bred through generations, because it is a learned behavior by a lot of people. And I think it all comes down to them just difficult conversations. And I think most of it comes down to showing how much it means to them. And once, because a lot of parents, if they do generally love you, like if they see that it makes you happy, and you know, you show that there isn't a load of negatives around it. Obviously, there are some around bodybuilding. There isn't much around negatives around just normal getting healthier, right? Then you just need to show that it means something to you, and you're making progress, and they can actually fall in love with it, and then it's all good. But obviously, people are different. I've just realised all my audio is gone, so hopefully you can still hear me. And my headphones are dying. But like, I think it's actually more common than people think. And Jack's covered all basically everything you'll need to know about bodybuilding there, but most of it applies to non-bodybuilders as well. Just make sure they see you're happy with it and you're making progress, and they have no real The only concern is just irrational concern then. But that's
Yeah.
that's my neutral opinion, because there's so many different avenues you can go there.
Yeah, I think after some. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was just gonna, I guess, summarize, and then I'll pass the talking TED over to you, man. The kind of the key thing with like a lot of people having issues. Oh, Matt, I can hear myself through your.
Oh, can you hear yourself? Hang on. Yeah, I guarantee you. I knew you could. Give me a sec.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, a lot of the issues that people have, oftentimes it's like we look at the overarching thing of like, oh, this person has an issue with me and what I'm doing, and this change that annoys me and frustrates me, and then you just feel like you're at a standstill and there's friction, because it's like, well, I want to do this thing and you don't want me to do this thing, so we're at an impasse. Nothing changes. If you try and make them understand why you do your thing, and you try and understand why they don't want you to do your thing, then more often than not, and this doesn't go all the way, but you'd be surprised across the people listening how many it will end up this way. More often than not, it's just you guys just aren't communicating. And it literally can be as simple as you get into bodybuilding and your parents are mad because they think you're going to take steroids, and you've got no intention of taking steroids, or they think natural bodybuilding is going to lead to an earlier death, and you have to be like, look, I'm that's not what I do, and then done. That's it. That's an entire months of pain solved. Like potentially years of resentment if you never give up bodybuilding. And I think you just need to understand why. And if they're like, I don't want you to have a more muscular body because that would personally offend me, then it's like, okay, well then now we're in impasse. But at least figure if you are or not. Anyway, go on, Camille.
I think the way I kind of processed it in prep was like, at the end of the day, it's just an emotion. And as shit as that sounds, like, view it from the perspective of like, okay, let's say you take that advice. What happens then? All right, what happens then? Like, how would you feel about the situation if you did take their advice? What's the alternative route?
Yeah.
Right? And then it's as simple as comparing that solution to how you feel right now. Yes, it's shit, but ultimately, like Jack said, if you're working to put yourself in a position where you don't have to surround yourself by that, when you get to that position, you just have that conversation, be like, look, this is why I did what I did. I don't need to surround me right now. You know, you can support me or not, but I need to be in my own space. And then that's that. But always kind of think to like, what would happen if you did take their advice, or if you did quit bodybuilding, or if you did quit coaching, or whatever it is that they might be anti against. How would that make you feel? How would that make your life kind of look? For me, it's like, in my specific situation, the way I think about it is like, I'm not a normal person. I can't get a 9 to 5. You know, I come from a family where like we all work 9 to 5s, and it's like a normal thing. Like, you go to uni, you work after, and then you retire at 65. Like, that's a good life. But when I try and explain it to my loved ones, it's more like, I don't want that. That's like my living nightmare. I can't imagine being in that lifestyle and being quote unquote a normal person, because I'm so embracing this process, which I love. It's my hobby, it's my passion, and now it's my job. And
Yeah.
so to have that stripped away from you, or whoever, your issue might be with your loved ones, think about how that would make you feel, because I promise you
Yeah.
that will help you shift through your emotions.
Yeah, mate, 100%. Like, the thing is, ultimately, if you're getting advice that taking is going to make you miserable and for an extended period of time, you're not going to feel any more satisfied for taking that advice. You're just going to build resentment. You're just going to resent, like, imagine that, like, say your family are like, yo, you should 9 to 5. And you're like, okay, I'll go do that. Every time your 9 to 5 is shit and you realize you don't want to do it, you're just going to feel resentment for them or towards them. Just be pissed off because you'll be like, why the fuck am I here? I don't want to do this. I clearly don't want to do this. That's more frustrating. And more like long-term annoying, because that feeling that you want to do something else is never going to go away. And then the longer that you take to get the ball rolling on doing something else, the harder it's going to be to get it going. And so there you kind of end up trapped, like half between something that you like and half between something that you hate, and they're both kind of not working for you. But if you go and do something and deal with that friction immediately, and like put yourself out there, you know, job, coaching, whatever, osteo, and then you kind of make things work, then either they're not cool with it, and it's like, okay, well, I've got, you know, I've got my job, so I'm happy, or they learn to be cool with it, and then it's like you got the best outcome. So you can't really go wrong.
That is so fair. There you go. Sorted. Right, have you got, I don't know how many
Write it down.
Camille, have you got a question? And
Yeah,
I've
you
got
got
a
it.
question.
I do. You go first because mine are in the archive somewhere. I was funny story, right? I was meant to. I recorded my first YouTube video at the start of prep, and I was 60 weeks out, and I was like, right, every 2 weeks I'm gonna record one. I'm now 5 weeks out, and not another one has not been recorded. Oh, fucking hell! In the depths of prep.
Oh yeah.
Just realised I was on mute. I just realised when I start speaking, just let me know if you guys can hear yourself or not, because you're through the speaker.
No worries.
But I have got from Ash Thacker. I don't know if you guys know Ash Thacker, one of ridiculous classic bodybuilder. He has messaged me or put on my thing one about posing. Funny enough, one pose that you would make mandatory for classic physique. Do you guys have one?
Assuming that
Classic side try.
mandatory.
Yeah. I've got two answers. Shall I go with mine first and then?
Mandatory kneeling, twisting back double.
That'd be quite good, to be
Really?
fair.
Yeah.
It'd be quite funny.
That's
It would be funny to see the people with really poor thoracic mobility try and do that, to be fair.
Yeah.
Well, people do that actually on stage, so.
It'd be cool to see like a kind of classic be a test of like, because you've got a more refined physique, maybe you have to present like a certain flexibility and fluidity rather than like kind of, because there's already kind of that. So I think having a pose that's like a bit more physically demanding or mobility demanding could be quite cool.
Camilla, you got one?
I was gonna go for classic side try if that doesn't count because you technically can throw it, but I wouldn't say it's mandatory. But if that wasn't available, it would have to be something like a teacup or a crucifix.
Yeah, I was thinking, because obviously you've got the classic pose of choice, so technically you could throw whatever in there, but I think as a funny option, I'm not even going to lie, like a fucking most muscular would just be funny. I don't know, because I'm not going to lie. Like,
Most muscular is mandatory.
No,
of
it
course,
depends. It depends on the Fed, realistically.
Oh, yeah,
but,
it does depend on the Fed.
Yeah, maybe I should have been clear. But teacup is realistically the one that everyone fucking hits. It's a classic pose of choice. But like, because it's used so often, it'd just be a meme that it would be a mandatory now. It's like, you know, when in a game something's so used so often on like a limited time event, they just bring it in on the actual fucking game. I think that's just what the teacup is to me. It's the most overused one.
Yeah.
Do you know there was like a whole debate about changing the front relax for classic where they do like the classic David Lade like pose where you're like leaning sideways like that.
It's like Frank Zane is really. Yeah,
yes. Yeah. And there was like a bit of a uprising of people saying like that should be the front relax for classic. I thought that was an interesting take. I quite like it, but at the same time, I do like the normal front relax as well. I think it's more of what that pose is meant to be.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think it's just because it's in the symmetry round. Like, it doesn't make sense to have an asymmetrical pose, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. But like, I get it. Like, it is, if you stand there and you're able to do that, that is technically a very classic shape. Especially if you can just stand there and look like that. But, like, I don't know. I feel like you can
maybe it'd be a
do that
muscularity
silhouette in a
pose.
different pose. What did you say, sir?
Maybe it would be a muscularity pose.
Yeah, what the stand? That just you've got front
The
relax,
Frank
side
Zane.
relax, rear relax, just the relax. You just stand there like yeah, or a farming pose.
Classic front relax. I've got a question. Where did it
That was a
go,
good
bro?
question.
Alright,
That
thoughts
clove one was
thoughts on nicotine for dieting?
don't. I'll run to
Yeah,
the
don't
shop.
do it. It's grim.
I'll run to the shops right now.
You shouldn't vape when you're dieting. It's really bad.
All right. Well, who wants to go first? I feel like I might have the
Ah,
most.
fuck it. I'll go first.
I either have the most or least to say.
Um, I think it depends on your relationship with stimulants and if you have an addictive personality. I think if you go at it with the approach of this is just another tool in the toolbox, not to throw Jack under the bus, but to use him as an example, he utilized the vape towards the end of prep to help with cravings. After prep, he binned it off, right? In that context, when run like that, we mitigate the risk and we also understand the benefits because if we're all going to be honest, there are benefits to using nicotine. It does suppress appetite, and it can help with sweet tooth cravings if you have a sweet flavor. If you approach it from a methodical sense, I think it can be used. Granted, I am not giving general advice to vape on diets. You do not need it. It's just another tool in the toolbox. But I'd always try and steer away from it. If a client approached me and we hadn't tried other tools first to help manage cravings or help manage hunger, I would use that as a last solution. But it is still something I would consider.
Yeah.
Class.
You're right.
Well, I don't exactly have a lot of experience, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, yeah, guys. Yeah, I'm all smoky and yeah. No, I don't know, Jack. You're the person to take for this because I just haven't felt the need for it ever in my life. So
I mean, it's a crutch. It's a crutch that I used, but it's a crutch. Same as caffeine. Like, in an ideal world, you perform and exist exactly like you had the thing without the thing. Because yeah, like there's acute benefits to nicotine, but in my humble opinion, on the whole, nicotine bad. And the issue more is just like ways of taking it in. Vaping is the worst, and I say that as someone who has vaped a lot. I'm currently not vaping, but God knows if I'll restart again. Who knows? It's 50-50. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, you're using something that's like highly addictive, and like anecdotally, I didn't find that it actually helped that much. I just got addicted to it, and then it was like, well, I would the idea of like, at least I've got my vape. It's like it literally is a crutch. It's literally like, oh, I can't eat, I can't do anything else, but at least I have this thing that I'm addicted to, that I can continue being addicted to. And it's all I wanted. I would like, get out of the gym and I'd be like, thank God, what a good session. Now I can vape again. But yeah, I think it's very commonly used. I wouldn't exactly say it's fine. I'd say I'm fairly neutral, but mildly discouraging. But again, if we're using it, I want to know because I want to just double check that we're not stimming ourselves too much. But yeah, I mean, heart health is a genuine, real concern for bodybuilders, and you've got you've got caffeine, in various different forms that people intake. People have coffees, monsters, and and then they have nicotine, and then you throw in other like androgens, etc. You're asking for heart enlargement, and like that's why we want to monitor things and make sure that we're not causing that. But yeah, in an ideal world, I would have prepped without nicotine, but hey, I didn't. So there you go. And probably in an even more ideal world, I wouldn't use caffeine either. But hey, I didn't, and I still use caffeine. So there we go. Yeah.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, I mean, my approach to anything is just like know what you're doing to yourself,
I'm
and
gonna go for a piss. Give me two
go
seconds.
for it, man. Know what you're doing to yourself, and if you're not okay with what you're doing to yourself, don't do it. Like, I don't mind people going out and binge drinking or binge eating, but I don't think they are okay with it deep down, and I don't think they're okay with the consequences of it, and therefore, I would say, why do it? Like, I know obviously things aren't that simple, but I don't have an issue of anyone doing like meth or heroin as long as they can truly grasp what that does to them and how. Then that's fine. If they still consent to doing that thing, then that's fine. But I think a lot of people think, oh, it won't happen to me. I'll just vape a little bit and it'll be fine. it's like, you've got no way of knowing. But yeah, anyway, let's get another fucking question going. Enough about nicotine.
No, that's fair enough. All right, Nat had one. He's had one for the last pod, and I wanted to get on it. I think it's one. You what? Sorry.
Oh my giddy arm, Mr. Nat. Thank you for listening, mate. If you're listening, drop me a WhatsApp.
Gotta love him. Gotta love him. So he said, "Do you believe on balanced bodybuild? Wait, do you believe on balanced bodybuilding promotes a healthy or unhealthy lifestyle?" So I believe he just means, do you believe bodybuilding promotes a healthy? Oh my fucking god, a healthy or unhealthy lifestyle?
So, right, Camille, we've got a question for you. Do you think? We'll say. Do you think overall, like grand scheme, bodybuilding? This is a question from Nat, and he just said bodybuilding. So take this how you want. Overall, bodybuilding promotes a healthier or unhealthier lifestyle.
There is a little bit of context if you want me to add the context.
Yeah. No, I don't need context. This unhealthy.
He said pros of routine, sleep, etc. versus potential downsides of body fat levels, extremes, mental health, exogenous hormones, just to name a few.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely negative.
I'm gonna jump. I think natural bodybuilding. I think positive. If you bodybuild properly, right? Okay. So first of all, I want to say if you bodybuild properly, and we're making a bit of an assumption about the baseline of the average person, because more and more people are getting into gyms. But the natural bodybuilder who preps maybe once every year, once every 2 years, hormones stay vaguely in line, stops competing in their 30s, eats their fruit, eats their veg, does their blood work, has a coach, does their mobility, does their cardio, does their steps, follows their food, doesn't eat off plan that often. Only thing they're really consuming is like caffeine. Hopefully, I mean, nicotine, we're going to say for the sake of example, is not promoted by bodybuilding. We'll say DMAA and pre and stuff like that is not promoted. Taking creatine, etc. I think you would, sleeping as well. The big thing for me would be diet, sleep, and nutrition. I think that adds so much to your potential lifespan, and not drinking alcohol. That would add so much to your lifespan. That, yeah, I think for assisted bodybuilding, oh god, it depends. If you're a pro bodybuilder negative, you're more than likely going to die before most people. Like 40s, 50s, 60s. So like decades off if you're a pro bodybuilder.
Does that change between different categories?
Yeah. Like, I mean, it comes down to usage, doesn't it? But it's like, you know, how many open bodybuilders do we see dying in their 50s and 40s? Like, you see them die, and it's like their recent picture was on Instagram a couple of days ago, and there's like not even a grey hair, man. Such is life when one bodybuilds. I think for assisted, I think it's a wash between being a net neutral and a net worse. But anecdotally, I'd say, I don't know. Because, like, how many pub geezers do you know who die at 50 versus how many bodybuilders? But then I guess bodybuilders are talked about more.
It's more taboo. It's more likely to get views if it's like hitting the headlines of bodybuilder dies of heart attack. Everyone's like, oh, another one. Of course, they take steroids.
Yeah. I don't think it's as hard of a question. I don't think it's as hard of a question as we're making out to be. The question was like, is it unhealthy or healthy? Realistically, putting high levels of, you know, hormones inside your body isn't inherently healthy. In the same way as if you were a natural bodybuilder and you fucking, you know, where you stayed at whatever peak fucking body fat levels, you know, well, not peak, but you know what I mean, after a show and you stayed there, it would be inherently unhealthy. It depends how you bodybuild. Do you do it safely? Do you fucking go off the rails like some 19-year-old junkie? Because that in my eyes, you're just a drug addict at that point. But yeah, that's my view on it. I think it promotes, if you, especially natural bodybuilding, I think it is just, obviously it is just safer. but there are things you can do unhealthy and healthy in that as well, because we haven't even gone into the psychological side effects where it's like people can develop EDs and shit like that if you do it on badly. That's unhealthy. Shit like that. A statement of the year: EDs are unhealthy, guys. But
Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
thing is, it's like compared to what, I think that's the difficult thing. It's like natural bodybuilding 100% is healthier. I think I struggle with. I think open assisted bodybuilding is such a wide range of people. Like immediately, like I think of like George Osborne, Myron Max, two assisted bodybuilders. You compare those guys to JP. You compare those guys to I don't know,
Cuba.
who's fucking what's his face? Fuck, I'm not gonna be able to think of his name. But there are people pushing 4, 5, 6+ grams a week, and then you've got guys still in the hundreds of milligrams, and again, like, that's such a broad spectrum, because you can't compare George Osborne and Myron Max to, like, I don't know, fucking Dorian, JP. JP publicly said he's taken like 6.5 grams of gear, so it's like, that's unhealthy. Yeah, is the way that the other two do it compared to baseline healthier? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. If you did it without the PEDs, it'd be healthier, but the PEDs skew things. But I don't know. I think it's person dependent. I think some people are gonna shrug off 300 megs, but some people are also gonna shrug off like 10 pints a week. Like there's weird people out there. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to disagree with both of you. I'm going to say I think enhanced bodybuilding is still unhealthy, but more unhealthy than natural. But I think natural bodybuilding is still unhealthy. I think a lot of natural bodybuilders use that it's healthier as a crutch. And like you said, there are certain baselines to tick, regardless of whether you're natural or you're enhanced, in order to make sure you are the healthiest you can be. Like how many natties do I talk to who just don't give a fuck about their blood work? They think it's just exclusive if you're a enhanced bodybuilder. Or even nailing the basic things like nutrition, like doing dirty bulks and pushing up too heavy, etc., etc. Like I think bodybuilding as a sport, when you want to take it competitively, will inherently have some trade-off. That's what being competitive means. It's you're going up against people that are willing to sacrifice things in their life in order to beat you, and unfortunately, health is going to be one of those things, whether that's mental health, physical health, whatever it is, right?
Can you come a bit
So
closer
when
to
you
the
truly
mic,
want,
Cameron?
oh, sorry,
Or
well, I got my headphones in.
you're a bit quiet.
But yeah, ultimately, like if you're trying to go down the competitive route, there are going to be some sacrifices, and natural or not, like you can manage it the best you can. So have that confidence within yourself. But it does take additional effort. It takes additional time. It takes additional money in order to do things safely, whether it's the blood work, it's the supplements, it's the doctor visits, it's the scans. Like just because someone's enhanced doesn't entitle them to, have to look after their health more. You still also have to look after your health just the same.
Yeah, that's true. I guess like a lot of natural bodybuilders that I've seen, especially on social media, is they're not as on it.
Neglecting injuries. Mate, this
Yeah.
one thing that I've noticed is like enhanced bodybuilders are so quick to fix injuries. It's like as soon as I've someone who's enhanced who I know on Instagram, as soon as they get injured, boom, they message me, we talk it out, give us some advice, and they're immediately on it. Natty bodybuilders, when they message me, I'm like, how long have you had this? Fucking years. He's like,
Yeah.
the most recent guy I spoke to, he's had it since he was 15. I'm like, big man, like what, this entire time you've trained through an injury, you've worked around it.
Yeah.
It's been decades. And it's like you're looking for a quick fix now, but you've been neglecting your health that entire time. So
Yeah.
enhanced bodybuilding makes you more health conscious, but it shouldn't be that way. Because yes, it's more unhealthy, but in general, most enhanced bodybuilders are a lot more health conscious than natural bodybuilders, at least in my opinion.
I still think natural bodybuilding is healthier than baseline, but we'll agree to disagree. We'll kiss
Yeah,
and
I
make
think if
up.
it was, I think if the question was, are are bodybuilders more health conscious than non bodybuilders? That would be a perfectly valid answer. But I agree with what you're saying there, where they are more health conscious because they're forced to be almost. But I also think when you talk about like natties and injuries, I think just coaches in general are just shit with injuries. And I think a lot of natty coaches, especially, they don't even fucking look at it as well. I think if you've got an enhanced bodybuilder, this is where I think it stems from. When you've got an enhanced bodybuilder, you're almost, from a psychological perspective, it shouldn't be like this, but I'm thinking from a lazy coach standpoint, you're almost forced to hone in on every single aspect because you are literally pumping someone full of steroids. I mean, I say full of steroids, you know what I mean? Some people on whatever. But you got to look at everything, and you're probably very likely to look in the weeds. You should be, as a coach, looking at fucking everything. This is not me saying this is what... But there are shit coaches out there, we all know. And I think with injuries being such a fucking... Almost feels like it's like no one knows anything about it. To be fair, it seems like Camille's like started bringing it up. It's like, yeah, like, so when you look around, it's so many people. Like, even if you just go on to, you probably scroll on your Instagram feed right now and there'll be like someone going, oh, just working around an injury, and they're just doing like a single arm pullover instead of their row. And it's like, cool, sick, what's your plan after that? Yeah, I bet Camille gets so frustrated looking at that shit. That would piss me off so much. It's like the equivalent of someone posting like I don't know, like a 3/4 Arnold with the wrong foot positioning, leant all the way over, going, finally got this pose, I'm gonna run this on stage.
Yeah.
Just every single time I look
That's
at my feed.
exactly what it feels like.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if health conscious necessarily means healthy. You know, it's like a lot of assisted bodybuilders are only health conscious because it means they can then run more PEDs. It's like, oh well, I let my health be in this bubble here, and if it strays, then I have to take less drugs. It's like Riz was talking about it. He was like, you know, most guys only take like health support so you can just run more drugs. It's like, oh, you had a reaction to 500 meg. That's okay, put that in. Oh, now it's sweet. All right, 700 meg then. Sweet, that's fine. Like, and like the thing is, like, that kind of is bodybuilding. It's like, you know, to some extent. But yeah, so I don't know. I think the thing is, like, it's so hard to guess how healthy the average person is, because part of me thinks about, like, you know, the fellas down the pubs in their 40s, 50s, like they order a burger. I don't know why I went for burger. They order shit food. They eat shit food. Thousands of calories of shit food. Drinking all the time. Maybe banging gear, as in like not steroids gear. And then they're using, you know, like vape and caffeine on top. And it's like, brother, you just love everything. You're not even in shape. You're not even using it as an appetite suppressant. You're not even got that excuse. You just fucking love everything. But yeah, so I don't know, you got that, and then you've also got like people I know in my personal life who are a little bit more, well, who are more sensible. So I don't know, it depends. I think it's, to an extent, it's an impossible question. If you're asking, is someone going to be healthier for bodybuilding compared to not, I don't know, because you can live healthier than bodybuilding infinitely. So it's like, immediately it's hard to know. You know, if you're a bodybuilder and you just stayed at an appropriate body fat percentage and you had perfect mental health, then you'd be sorted.
Sound.
Right, should we get in one more question?
I'm gonna have to bounce, lad. Yeah, I need to bounce. I've got a call with N-Dog.
Yeah, let's do.
What, are you going now, or is it?
Let's do one more.
Okay.
That's at 7.
Right, let me just message him.
Anyone got one more?
I'm being held
I think,
hostage.
yeah, I think it was looking.
Oh.
Right, it might take me a second to find that. The thing is, I've only got rehab ones, so it doesn't really apply.
Oh, that's okay. We don't have to do we want to do a rehab one.
I've got really basic ones about people going into a prep first time that I think people have heard so many times, so I don't want to say them ones.
Let's do one. We'll each
But it was like, yeah, it was top 2 things. I'll make it a little bit more interesting. Top 2 things per, like, in terms of I don't know, top two things that you would say to a first-time competitor about, you know, what they should expect in the season. But like make it as if like there's one tip around yourself and one tip about how you actually display yourself to other people or something like that. I don't know, just so it's a little bit, you know what I mean? Maybe not.
So like, if you could go, if I could go back in time, what would I tell myself?
Yeah, literally that.
Okay, and then one that's more general. All right. Well, Camille, do you wanna lead with one?
I think there's so many good ones, but I think the first one that came to mind for me was like make sure your finances are in check slash save up money before prep because financial stress during prep is something that's really hard to navigate. Because if you're blessed to be in a position where you can make more money by working harder, you're then forced to work harder in prep when you have less energy. So you're kind of going against what your body wants to do, and it becomes a very difficult thing to navigate. So make sure your finances in a stable position, slash, if you're unsure of where finances will be, save some money for prep because things will come up, especially if you're an enhanced bodybuilder. Because, like I said, then it comes into the health thing. Um, in terms of what was the second part of the question?
A piece of advice that would be more like general to other people, less specific to yourself.
For prep.
Yeah.
Be present.
Cheeky fucker.
Oh, fuck it up.
Matt, do you have any?
I mean, I don't think I've got a leg to stand on. I haven't been through one, so I can't really. I'm not. I feel like that's out of my realm, you know, to say. I can say stuff off that what I've heard, but it's not backed by evidence for myself. So. You what? Sorry. Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's a real. Instead of fucking waiting till the start of prep, where effectively this is one that does piss me off. Where effectively you will spend like the last 6 weeks in like a vegetative state. Like, why do you expect your posing to be able to be done all in that little time period? You've also got the most amount of shit you've got to do in your personal life. Why are you leaving such a? And I think I'll leave with this one. People think posing is just your quarter turns and everything, and you know your muscularity poses. It's also how you get between them, your stage confidence, transitions, your routine, your fucking even just knowing what you're doing on stage and what that looks like. Like it's insane. It's insane how much there is to it. So why are you leaving until last minute? That's the only thing I will say.
My advice would be have more tissue. No, I'm kidding. It would be speak less negatively to yourself. Which is really, really hard to do. But I think my prep was good until I announced it. And then when I announced it, that's when I started speaking negatively to myself because I just put that pressure on myself. And obviously it being the first time I go through something, you just don't know. You don't know what on pace is, and you can't judge how lean you are. So you just feel further and further away the closer and closer you get, and almost more and more disappointed with where you're at. And then my more general advice would be, I mean, it's a bit cliche, but I think like get a coach that you trust, because that kind of got me through like where I was feeling. Is me and Tim had a conversation going into prep, and he was like, I will get you peeled. I don't put people who aren't peeled on stage. And I was like, okay, I'll do what you say. And like, even though I would be like, I feel fat, I feel shit, I'd be like, just, you're checking in with Tim, take the shots, pose, fuck off, go crack on, just do what he says. And I would have to tell myself that all the time. And it's like, I say the same thing to our prep clients. It's just like, you know, they'll be like, oh, are we happy with shots? I bet, brother, if I wasn't happy with shots, we'd be having a conversation right now about pulling your show. Like, you're on track, you're fantastic. If you're not gonna land, I'm gonna pull your show. You're gonna land. You're fine. Keep on cracking on. And it's like people need that reassurance, you know. But yeah, that's my advice. Right, should we wrap it there? Wrap it like a fucking Johnny lad. Thank you all for listening. We've been the top 3 Birmingham enjoyers. If you think anyone enjoys Birmingham more than us, send them our way, because we want to have a conversation and see if they really appreciate Brum like we do. If you want to find us and get coached by us, just find any alley in Birmingham and just yell, "Can I get coached?" and then sit tight and we'll come out running. Or alternatively, you can head to the link that's down below in the description. You can save 10% off Conti Sports products with code Archer10. And then our Instagrams are down below as well if you want to see more of the free advice and stuff that we post, because we don't just work for money, we also do this for the love of the game. If you're injured, hit up Camille. If you want to get better at posing, hit up Matt. And if you want to live a bit more like a bodybuilder, then hit up me, I guess. Any final words of wisdom, guys?
No.
No, we're both probably looking at the call we have right after this podcast. That's why.
Yeah.
That's it, guys. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening to episode 64, I believe.